Thanks for tuning in.
I so love that song.
That's pretty good. I can't remember if I unmuted us. I better check.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, we are unmuted. We're live and the internet can totally see us now.
Wow.
Well, happy Sunday, my darling. Happy Sunday.
Oh,
and
happy
hello,
Sunday.
our first visitor from the nether regions of the universe. Welcome to our show.
And
It's Sunday.
what sector is that? The nether regions. I'm not acquainted with what that is
sounded
exactly.
odd. Oh, happy Sunday, Midnight Banshee. Thank you for coming. What a week it's been, eh? Wow. And I have a confession to make. I did not sleep last night. I'm still yeah. I should have faked it. Oh,
How do you fake that? You just
fake
gotta-
not sleeping. I know, right?
Right. I don't think that's gonna fly. Sorry.
Oh yeah, to be sure. You said it's been a roller coaster of a week. To be sure, how's the stream seeming? Is it are there's no weird echo or anything like that happening? I guess it takes a while. Internet and then round trip and I don't know.
Well, from the nether
Oh, looks and
regions.
sounds perfect. All right, awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you, number 2. Oh, and Midnight Banshee, since you are our first first. Happy confetti. Happy Sunday confetti for you.
Yeah, you're faking it. You didn't sleep last night. Okay. You're faking. That didn't come out right. I meant you're faking that you slept last night because you didn't.
That's
sleep.
what I was going to try and fake,
Yes.
but it's
Right. It's not going to work.
it's not going to work.
Nope. Just not going to happen.
Oh, so busy. I actually got 2 videos out this week. Two.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, confetti is always the right answer, along with your favorite beverage of choice. Yes, it just at the moment happens to be coffee. I had Coca-Cola earlier before. That's the liquid kind, the black liquid kind. Comes in a bottle, not the,
You mean there's another kind?
Bolivian marching powder. It's called. But that's the euphemism is Coca-Cola.
Okay.
One of them.
Oh, I see.
I would know nothing
right.
about that since I am a young and free and innocent spirit.
Right, of course.
Oh, wow. Everything looks perfect. Confetti's always the right answer. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this machine.
Oh man.
It's a monster. It really is.
What do you say? It's using like 3.
Oh yeah, it says 4.5%
That's insane.
of the CPU.
That's beautiful.
Let's see, what are the temperatures running at? Let me see. I'll check out the software. I don't really normally do that. Yeah, CPU package is at 39 degrees, and the GPU is at 35 degrees Celsius, of course.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no air moving in this room. We turned off the air conditioner just to get a little more quiet. It had rained.
Oh, sorry.
It rained this morning, and it was quite cool. So we aired out the apartment before lunch, but I can feel the sweat dribbling down.
Oh yes, it's.
How is that? Yeah, isn't that it's pretty amazing. It's great. I love this thing. I don't know. I had this theory all worked up about. They lie. Computer manufacturers. They say, "Oh, you don't need that. All you need to do is this. You only need like 2 gigabytes of RAM. Blah 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 blah." That's a lie. That's a lie.
Yes, I think so.
And they hold all the real. It's what is it? Market segmentation.
Oh,
Right. They're really
sounds ominous.
Yeah. Well, way back when there was like. A 386, and I think that was the days way back. That was like the days before there was like market segmentation and binning of chips and that, So, but now it's they can turn off little sectors like the 6950X is actually a Xeon, right? It's a Xeon chip, one of the server chips where they've turned off some of the things that it can do. Of course, I don't know any of that stuff because I'm just a dilettante. I remember when Intel said on KB Lake that if you don't want their CPUs to overheat, then don't overclock them.
what's the point? I mean,
yeah, why make a K chip if not to overclock? It doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, speaking of overclock, of course, this chip I've overclocked it, but only as far as the automatic overclocking that the ASRock can do. So it said it could do. It went up to 4.3 gigahertz. Yeah, and this is from a base of like 3 gigahertz. So I've gotten 1.3 gigahertz of extra. Well, the turbo boost was supposed to be 3.5, but the turbo boost on mine was 3.6. So I think it was, I don't know, I think I got a pretty decent chip.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Hey, BTD! Hello! I think, did I use confetti?
Yep, you did. That was for Midnight Banshee.
See, now I have to use the sub button. Second sub button's los.
Alarm!
Alarm! Alarm! That's fun.
We've been watching too much Das Boot, as you can tell.
I don't mind sub buttons. Yeah, that's right, eh? Well, I watched that trampoline thing you did. My God.
I meant to see. I didn't check that out yet.
It's actually, no, it's the first one. I don't know why. It's just it shocked me so much. My testicles shriveled up into my abdomen, and then after that, it didn't bother me anymore.
What, did somebody do a V split on the railing or something?
No, it's just that thing. I think they landed funny. And,
that sounds painful.
Yeah, I don't really go for that kind of stuff generally. Yeah, I know. I think it was the word tiny or teeny. I said there, my tiny testicles. Oh, do I use a Stream Deck? No, actually, I use my mouse. Actually, here, I'll show you how I do it.
What's a Stream Deck?
Oh, it's
I'll have to look that up. Never mind.
It's okay. It's just it's a device. It's like,
I've just never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a device by what's the company that does it? Elgato Stream Deck, because I had a bone to pick with them.
Spanish cat. Elgato.
Because it's only for Windows 10, supposedly. Lies. All lies.
Probably.
It's made by Elgato. See, I remembered. It has a bank of buttons that you can use to trigger effects. And they're macros, and the buttons are actually really cool. They're like LCD buttons, so they can.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You can get to put different pictures on them. It's awesome, actually. It's really cool. But no, I can, and I should, but I just have them. I have the scene set up in a line. Here, I'll show you here.
We have to look into that then.
Transfer that over. There we go. So you can see here there's web pages, which is the one I just transitioned over to what you're seeing, and then there's the thumbnail on this side. See the thumbnail? Then the intro the video. Then here's the glitch thing. I call this the glitch. So then I just select whichever one I've set up, and then I hit the transition button and it pops over. So the effects are really one after the other. See, so I can go here back and forth. And what I've done, the cool thing is, like, see here down below, these are scenes. Let's see, like the NASA space images. So that's a scene by itself. So I can change the space image, the slideshow here, and all the different scenes that has the slideshow in it will automatically change. So this is how you leverage OBS. Like you set up your scenes, and then you put the scenes in, and then you put the scenes within the scenes. So it's like Inception.
Right. How do we always wind up at Inception?
Well, that's because that's what OBS is. Like if you do this full screen, and then it goes into infinity, and it's like an ever present Inception joke. Yeah. Well, it's it's funny. Ever since this is how. Rewind. When I first installed it, it's installed as Studio, like OBS Studio, right? And that's what I ended up familiarizing myself with instead of the normal one. So, but each one of those scenes I can set up as a macro button, and I actually have it here. Oh, I don't have it here. Where's the keyboard? I bought a.
Oh, isn't it on the desktop? That thing? Like that white, or the black one?
Yeah, it's the black. I don't know where it is.
I thought it was around there.
Yeah, somewhere. I think I've moved everything now.
Oh.
Anyway, I bought like a numpad, a US. Let me switch back. Which one is that? Oh, live stream confetti. Let's go back to the live stream show. There we go. Confetti. Yeah, I bought a numpad. I think I may have linked it at some point. And then I can actually set up the macros into this numpad, so then I can just push that, and that changes the scene and the effect or whatever I want. So yeah, I've been actually like, I'm supposed to be, working on more effects and more scenes and stuff like that, to keep things fresh and interesting and moving along. But I just haven't made the time. I haven't had the time really. Like I think I've gone over and over all this stuff. Like, the father-in-law spleen, and then the air conditioner saga, then this thing
saga after another.
the processor change that just came out of the blue. I've been following that processor for 2 years, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and the crushing thing is that last month I saw it at 50% off again, like last month, and I was aching to get it, and I couldn't get it. And then a few days later, went back up to $2,000 or whatever, and it's like the window of opportunity was gone. And then last Sunday, just before Prime Day, it came back down to like 50% off. So I just, I lucked out at that point and grabbed it. But that was the plan. Like, my whole design was based around maximizing the X99 platform as much as I could. So about $1,000 for it, yeah. Actually, Canadian, it's $790. About, you can get it for about $800 American. So like, yeah, $1,000 Canadian plus taxes and all that jazz. But I could have bought a used one, but I wanted new, because used. See, the thing with my theory about processor destruction, I guess, or processor like lifespan, it's all temperature based, right? So a processor will only have as much life as high temperatures it endures over time. So that's my theory anyway.
Also, like deterioration
and okay, due to thermal compromise or thermal cycling, right? So over time, through thermal cycling, the lifespan of a processor declines and eventually fails. Right. So that's why generally, you want a new one. But that's, this is Mickey Mouse theory that I came up with, and I think it's only applicable really to Intel. So, and especially, the K series. So yeah, hence the need for good cooling depending on your situation.
Right.
Of course, stock runs longer, but if you have good cooling, then you can do more, right? So, and then my baseline, I think you should strive, especially, with decent cooling, you should strive to stay under 50 degrees, 50, 55 max, So that's the kind of cooling that you're looking for. If you overclock, you want to keep it in that threshold around 50 degrees. So that's a lot of wattage, thermal wattage, BTUs you have to cycle away from it, from your equipment.
Okay.
Same thing in just sort of tangentially to this, in Asia, which is very hot and very humid. The electronics are particularly vulnerable because of humidity.
Oh, humidity's murder on electronics.
Yeah, I have my 77K at 4.7, and under load it never goes above 80. Ooh. I find 80 is high, though.
So high.
Is that under air? It's supposed to be. The TDP is like 100 degrees Celsius generally. But I think, again, that's over a long period of time, you're asking for trouble, I think. But that's just me. That has no basis in any reality or whatever. It's on a 240 AIO. You can go up to 100, but below 80 is just fine. Yeah. And it shocked me, like this thing here, I rendered a brief. Ako Ryu, what's up? Hello, hi, nice to meet you. Welcome to our stream. We were just discussing processors and overclocking a little bit. It's funny, I don't really. Oh, you're chilling, cool. Yeah, well, so we are too. It's Sunday, we're trying to be mellow, not much, so.
Oh, we were talking about cooling. Well, on that note, Midnight Banshee's latest video has... Well, I guess you've got a new cooler from Highlander there. And it's... I guess you're going to put it on your Ryzen... Is it Ryzen build? I think it's Ryzen. At least I think that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing. I always like those AIOs. And...
So RGB fans.
You guys game? I play chess, actually. So, but that's about, we're not really gamers per se. That's not to say I haven't gamed or may not, game at some point in the future, but not just now. It's weird. Yeah.
Oh, we had to extricate ourselves from Diablo, or the Diablo series of stuff, because it's just so addictive.
Never got anything done.
No, nothing practical.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of gave up on all of that. We don't even have cable television or anything like that. No, so. But there is a dirty little secret in our house.
Yes, just recently.
Just yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday, I think.
Was it yesterday?
Was it yesterday or I'm not sure. Maybe it was the day before.
I think it was the day before.
I think maybe
we signed up for Netflix.
Yes. Ooh.
No. Yep, Netflix.
Somebody said no.
I said no.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no. Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm stuck for words. How's that for a change, eh? I've been up all night, and I was trying to make a point about the cooling. Oh, my whole plan with the this build. Well, it was basically a once in a lifetime build, right, for me, and I couldn't afford. Because it was ridiculous. The original price of that processor was $2+ grand, whatever Intel was thinking, or that was ridiculous. So I also knew that over time, that eventually that processor would come down. So what I decided to do back then was to go for the 6800K, which is the lowest, in that Haswell E series, the X99 chips. And then wait for the price to come down, but it never did. And then it's they've just made it end of life in May, and now finally we're starting to see some breaks on pricing. So, if that's just a heads up, if anybody is out there thinking about wanting, if they have that platform, but I think a lot of people said forget it. We're moving on to. Yeah, the 77. Yeah, see, that thing is that's when I'm Windows 7, right? I couldn't go for that. So I decided, well, this was going to be my last chance to build, my last great computer in Windows 7. So I spent a week, figuring out how to do UEFI boot in Windows 7, USB 3, add NVMe drivers into, because none of that shipped in Windows 7 natively, so it all had to be slipstreamed in, and that was a week's worth of work there, and I tell you, it's not a job that I would like to ever want to repeat, because it was just miserable. And I just I don't know, there's something about Windows 10 back when it first came out that just grated just the wrong way with me, and that's that whole philosophy of Microsoft deciding that they can do whatever they want with our machines, even though we've paid through blood, sweat, and tears for our hardware, and they can just without a buyer leave do whatever they can do whatever they want with it.
Just
and,
force their operating system on you.
Telemetry, which is a nice way of saying spying on everything we do, and I just philosophically have great issue with that. And I do know that you can spend some time and mitigate that, even cut them off at the router or the wall or whatever. But again, it's why should I have to? They should know that this isn't right or correct. So, and again, there's no reason that that the 7700K should be not supported by Windows 7 or even the 8 series. But it's just Intel and Microsoft got together and decided not to support it. Just like Elgato decided that their Dream Deck, is that what it is? isn't going to be supported by Windows 7 either. And there's no technical reason that it should not work with Windows 7. Just that they've decided not to. And this is an operating system that still has 2 years before it's out of, you know. This is how hard they're trying to get people off that operating system.
Well,
that's just
screw them.
Exactly. Screw them.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if I had, well, I mean, I've got an Android device that I use right now, but if I ever wind up with a, you know, a PC, I tell you, I think I'm going to Linux. I'm not going into the Windows universe at all.
Yeah, well, actually, once this machine, you know, transgresses, or I may, you know, in 2020, I may have to, like, you know, install Windows 10. But by that time, I hope Microsoft will have seen the light.
That'll be the day.
I don't know. They apparently have some aspirations in. Oh my God, the fish sandwich show.
See, I believe that when I see it.
Well, and people are allowed, you know, people and companies are allowed to change their minds. You know, that nothing is written in stone. Nothing. Hi, Fish. How are you, Robert? I'm glad you could come. Nice to see you, man. Oh, yeah, country life, eh? Nothing. I'll say no more. My mother and father-in-law live out in the country, and it can be scary out there, especially at night when the mosquitoes are chewing you up.
Oh, that was unreal. I never saw them that bad in my life.
We were just coming back to the city, and this is like after my father-in-law had his operation done, and yeah, it's nice to see you too, Robert. And we called a cab, right? And they live out, there's no lights, nothing, so we had to go to the end of the laneway and, you know, wave with my phone. And of course, what's attracted, you know, is all the mosquitoes in the ditch. And it's like by the time the cab gets there, it's like, and the cab, he languidly turns it around, and then we basically throw ourselves into the cab. He said, the mosquitoes? Oh, no kidding. Oh, excuse me.
Well, it's funny, but it brought to mind that movie Pitch Black.
Oh, yeah.
That thing with Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
Tiny little aliens.
That's right. What just felt like the density of them coming at you, all these things, and they want to eat you alive.
La la la.
I like that. Reminds me of Benny Goodman slightly.
Wow. 4 people.
Wow, good.
Thank you for coming,
Excellent.
everybody. It's a delightful to see you here, and you know, it's tough putting on a live show, isn't it? Eh?
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just sort of sit here.
Well, no, you do more than that. You're the weight. You're the
weight.
anchor. The backstop.
Are you
the
saying
rock.
Are you saying I eat too much?
Not at all.
Oh, okay, I'm the weight.
No. The strength. I
Strength. Oh, yeah. You've been up all night. You can tell.
Yeah. Oh, we lost one. It always feels so sad. Let's. Robert got. I guess I caught a bit of your video this morning. I guess you got like 85 subscribers.
What, like recently?
Yeah,
that
from
now?
the
Wow.
IAmACreator-a-thon 13, I guess it is, something like that.
Oh, is this James Cox's thing?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh yeah, and he's got they're doing the Robert's doing a short film up by the 27th, and she's the rock of the show. And Midnight Banshee asked if you're doing any more Cat Shark videos.
Oh, I should be.
She said, "I've got lots of ideas for them."
Yeah, but I just don't do it.
Never does them. I got ideas for new videos. Where are they, Shelly?
They're still in the gestation period. Yes, that would be it.
Lots for you, Robert.
It's complex, you know. Oh.
You're getting there, buddy. You're gonna hit that grand mark very soon. I can tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's his total out now, anyway?
760 something.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good.
Let's
It's
have a look.
getting there, getting close. So
Let's see.
almost 800. So yeah, 200 and 25 somewhere.
744, 750 almost.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Excellent.
Awesome, man. Let's see. Oh, so I need another monitor.
Oh, yes, you do.
I lose everything every time I do something here.
Oh.
So I'm not caught up with the chat. 745. Oh, I think you lost one.
Oh.
I think it's 740. I don't know, whatever it was. But yeah, around 750.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Well, that's 250 away about. So, you know, because when I first met you, were you at 100? I think we're just under 100.
Wow.
And yeah, you were going to celebrate your 100. And I said, you can do it. You can do it. You'll get 100, no problem. And there you are. Yeah, at 100, no problem. Yeah, 700, no problem. Yeah. Except, you know, well, your momentum was cut a little bit because you had life changes and that sort of thing, which is, understandable, of course,
Yep, life gets away.
God, does it ever? Like, I'm almost like half a year behind where I should be right now, I think, because of, the computer thing. Like, when I was converting this machine from air to the water tower there that Midnight Banshee commented on earlier, that was like 3-month job, because there was a power supply failure and a motherboard failure at that time, and the machine was spread out all over the place for 3 months, and I'd never thought I'd get it back together again. And I had to RMA the power supply, I had to RMA the motherboard, and that took a long time, and then putting it back together, pressing the power button, and nothing happened. I was like very sad.
Well, it's so difficult because you don't have anything working to give you any kind of signal as to what could possibly be wrong. So how you have to crawl through every square inch.
It's not like I have 5 computers, like box, where I can pull hardware from one and put it into another. I have a couple of laptops, but there's nothing I can pull out of that to put. It looks like I'm wearing a tie-dyed shirt with the sun wrapped around my neck like that. That's funny.
Oh, that's strange.
Yeah. Oh, I've set up this thing to be able to do interviews, and I've approached a few people to do interviews, and yeah, it would be nice, like to have shelves just of parts you can swap out someday. But and nobody wants to come in our show. I don't know why. Is it intimidating or something like that? Oh my god! It's the Dottie Shaw show.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I thought you changed your avatar. He's still got a beard in this thing.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't look like the escapee from the orphanage that he shows on Twitter. Ha ha ha! Oh, you broke the glove?
No, I didn't break it. It's just I can't seem to get it on.
It's like an extra finger or something.
No, I've got it the wrong way round. I'm trying to put my thumb into the little finger.
No. The first rule of theater and that is when something goes wrong, you use it in the act, and then so then it looks like, oh, I can't get it on. Then you get like 5, 7 fingers. So then it's part of the act.
All right.
Well, I didn't say no. That's not. That is fake. Then it's like you're supposed to exaggerate it.
Oh, I can still mess it up pretty.
It's snowing. Yeah, it was snowing my head.
Gee, that's great, isn't it?
Oh, there, Donnie Shaw. I'll give you some sub buttons. Oh, and I've interrupted.
Never mind. It's not. Oh, for goodness.
See?
I'm not trying to use it. I just can't get the glove on.
That's hilarious.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're just having fun because I'm over here struggling and
yes, but you were hiding it below. It's like, oh, the glove. It's like, dear, show everybody. That's. Well,
the problem is I spilled a tiny bit of coffee on my green shirt, so I don't know. This part of me is not invisible.
Yeah, but it's hidden by the microphone, so nobody can see that.
Okay.
See if you just sort of go like this.
Oh, that would.
We were making a crack. What?
Nothing.
Making a crack earlier, it's like we do a little test shooting before.
Did you?
I said shoot.
No, shoot. Okay, but I thought you almost said something else.
yeah, we do a little test shot. And we have like normal clothes on, because we don't dress like this all the time.
We don't.
And then I was like, we put the green screen shirt on, and it's like, wow, I feel normal now. And it's like, it's like we could let ourselves go below the neck. Nobody could tell. Like, we could be like those tomatoes that they grow in like boxes, so they have like they're square tomatoes. We could have like the square fat around us.
Oh, great.
What's a test shit? Shut up.
Yes.
Nobody swears on it. I'm booting you. You're getting booted. Hey, that was.
I thought that was what you said. Just,
I made you a moderator there, so you can't swear no more. Ha ha. That's part of my plot.
No. Being a moderator means you can swear with impunity. That's what it means.
No. You have to respect the show. Respect the heads in space.
Careful, you go screaming off into the void. Mandolin mouth.
Mandolin mouth. Never mind. Ha ha ha.
What were you gonna say?
Nothing. And Donnie Shaw said,
indeed.
naughty boy. Yes, you were a naughty boy,
yes.
Fish.
Oh, Fish was naughty.
My grandmother used to do that.
Oh, she did? Really?
Yes, she did.
Oh, you're a naughty boy. You're a naughty boy.
Oh, okay. I thought that was only in, like, cartoons or something.
No, that was a real thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, before World War II.
I don't think I ever saw that. Well, I'm afraid I wasn't around for that.
I know, but yeah.
Neither were you.
Neither was I. Oh, so what's new, Donnie? Well, Fish, he has a film coming out on the 27th, in case you didn't know. That should be worth checking out.
Is it autobiographical?
No, I think it's a rom-zom. A
Zom-rom?
rom-zom.
Oh.
Romantic zombie.
Zombie?
Zombie.
That's interesting. A romantic zombie, eh?
Yeah,
That sounds interesting.
Excuse me.
I gotta check that out. So that's on the, what was it, 27th of this month?
Yeah, 27th of July.
Okay.
Boy, this year's going by, eh? Boy.
Oh.
And you can, actually, believe it or not, shit is not a swear word anymore.
Shouldn't be.
No,
It's too
even on,
mild.
I think, American TV, I think it was de-swearerized. If you look it up. Yeah.
De-swearerized.
Yeah, you can actually say, because, you know why? Because there's so many, and the internet has destroyed so many, innocent brains that they figure, hey, television has to do something to make it denotified, yeah. has to make
That's a good one.
Make it, like it's still relevant somehow. So they've denotified the word shit.
Well, that's how they become relevant.
Well, we're talking
pardon me, but that's a lame ass.
We're talking about, like an entity, American television, as such, where human beings have no genitals or breasts, right? So anytime anybody has like sexual relations in American television, their clothes are always on, their breasts are covered, and one wonders how they
could happen.
reproduce.
Are you sure they do?
It's a mystery. Whereas on Canadian television, we're allowed to show breasts, I think after 9 o'clock or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, not at noon.
Oh, yeah, so we don't have any genitals, etc. till after 9. Okay.
Yeah, I think but that was, in the 70s, I think it was a lot looser back then.
Yeah.
And
It really was.
Nudity and everything else, it was so much freer back then. Well, I mean, except for, attitudinal issues between the genders. There was a lot of, one would have thought or expected that, the equality of the sexes had some meaning, but apparently it never caught on for some reason, and it's still a big struggle. And whereas I say to myself, why not? I mean, why is that even an issue? It has to be. We should be, right? Societal norms these days are decidedly different. But there's the thing that at the risk of drifting into politics, and I don't want to.
Oh, sorry.
But there's this reaction.
Sorry.
That's a good face.
Well,
with the sunglasses.
Well, I was thinking about the Scream by.
Edvard Munch, yeah. Yeah, there's this. Yeah. BTD says people often get too easily offended nowadays. I'm glad I have an attitude of IDGAF, which is, you know what that is, right? IDGAF?
Oh, you told me that one, but I forget.
IDGAF, anyway, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't give a, yeah.
Yes.
Fig.
Fig. But there's this reactionary force that just cycles around and around, where we have this issue with pregnancy termination and clothing issues, slut shaming and toxic masculinity and all kinds of things like this that I've just I'm at that age where I believe it's never going to be solved. We're just going to be revolving around these issues over and over again.
You mean devolving?
And that's just the what is it, the human nature or
well, yeah, to never ever progress. To just stay in the same quagmire.
Don't assume my gender. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Everybody should be called there or they.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Well, you cis. I think it's CIS. I never even understand it was.
CIS? Is that like CSI?
No, I can't even remember what the acronym stands for. It's something about, gender normative attitudes or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Devo. Yeah, devolving. Absolutely, my friend, absolutely.
Well, why can't things just be and accept them?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Actually,
like skin color. It's just a color of skin.
Cisgender. I don't even know what's the cis part mean now. Male, female, other, prefer not to say. Yeah, exactly. That's BTD said that. What was I going to say? Oh shoot, I forgot now. It means denoting or relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds with their birth sex. Oh, okay. Yeah, which is right. And I think this is that's sort of like the open debate, right? Like, how much of a person's gender is societally imposed, right? And if and such, then what aspects of that are healthy or unhealthy and whatnot, and it's an actually interesting kind of debate. So, but Mr. Remy Moore, the man,
Remy
hello,
Moore.
And as always, I salute you, sir, and thank you, and am ever grateful for you doing the intro music for our show.
Yeah, it's great.
And of course, I use it for pretty much every video I do now too. Yeah, BTD says people are crazy. They are trying to tell themselves that their gender is an object rather than a genetic thing. Like they're thinking they are legit tree or something stupid like that. Well, anyone, me, male, female, that's it. Bitching now, sorry. Well, with all due respect, I think it's, we have to respect people's choices. I think, if people, individuals choose this, that, or the other, or prefer not to say, then that is their prerogative. And just as much as, while I may be an atheist, I fully respect people's beliefs and desires to think otherwise.
Yeah, well, you can believe whatever you want, and that's fine, because it doesn't. What shouldn't harm our beliefs shouldn't harm other people.
Just call people human and leave it at that. Exactly.
Sure.
And I think in our own personal lives is where we fulfill, our hopefully fulfill our desires for what we want.
World domination.
out of relationships. I've always strongly believed that the men and women are fundamentally equal. Now, we have differences. Those are, there's obviously differences. But
that's acceptable. That's the way it is.
At the base level, there's an equality there, just as there's an equality between all of us. There is no such thing as somebody who stands higher than anyone else, and anybody who thinks that is the case, and that's a momentary, fleeting thing, because we all die.
That's right.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Oh, that's great. We all die. Happy Sunday. Yay.
I always thought public nudity would pretty much do away with gender confusion. Well, yeah, you know, you do wonder, eh? See, I was born in Germany, and public bathing, you know, nude bathing, it's actually kind of accepted there. You know, if you prefer, there's schwimmbats, right? It's like bathing, and people, you know, clothing is optional pretty much, and nobody thinks twice about it, and nobody cares, you know. And this is the thing here, it's always astounded me how prudish, you know, certain cultural sensibilities are. And I'm not saying that it's purely the Americans. By no means it's purely the Americans. I mean, look at you know, what is considered a cultural norm in Arabic countries, right? You know, but I don't want to get into that per se.
Well,
yeah, this is getting deep, I know. It's like, what's going on? What's wrong with you?
This is supposed to be Sunday silliness? How is this silly? This is very serious.
But the thing is, I mean, we try so, like, this is the thing, we try so hard to be silly sometimes that we forget that life is really serious, and life is a struggle for a lot of us, you know, and if we don't acknowledge that we have personal challenges that you know, are our own uniquely, but at the same time, we also have to acknowledge that everyone else around us has their own personal challenges as well. So, you know, and that's how we, you know, I think can learn to get together or to get along is by understanding that hey, this matrix of humanity that we have is all incumbent, that we need to improve ourselves and acknowledge ourselves, our own failures, and respect and allow others to have their failures, and give ourselves all an opportunity to grow and mature. I'm sorry, that is deep.
Well,
I'm exposing my no, not my philosophy.
Well, it's not a bad philosophy, is it?
Let's see. Stefopal Opal. Hi all. Much love, respect from the New Orleans, Louisiana. Thank you for coming.
Oops.
Welcome for, I think this is the first time you've been here. Everybody gets confetti when they first arrive. And I don't know why I forgot to give Remy.
Yeah, come on. Oh, it's so good to see you, Remy.
Yeah. It's a transition. There we go.
Wow.
Let me see. I'm sort of gotten. Let me see. Just live one day at a time and be grateful for each day. Not everyone got the same gift. Exactly. You know, look, Shelley is blind. I have my own medical issues, which I prefer not to discuss, frankly. And I know, you know, all of us, you know, to one, you know, degree or another. Have things like for example, you know, BTD's got almost terminal bitchiness. You know?
Oh, zing! Youch!
Well, he wrote that there. It says, "Wow, I'm a bitchy person."
Oh, terminal bitchiness.
Says, I understand some people are like, I'm a boy in the morning and a girl at night. That's fine. I really don't care. Carry on, but don't attack me just because I don't think the same way. Well, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I mean,
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, a person.
It's raining scary Viking heads. Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, scary. I'm not sure about, but.
Oh, okay. I've been here before. I enjoyed what y'all just did. Sweet ET word. Oh, thank you, Stefopal. I don't know how to shorten your name to make it comfortable to say.
Stefopoulos. Sorry, it sounds Greek now. I'm sorry.
My point is valid. BTD says. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, people believe what they want to believe, and that's fine. But the thing is, why can't they just, you know, why do they have to foist their beliefs on everybody else? That's why the world is such a mess right now. It's just sort of like, if you want to be that way or think that way, fine, that's great, but don't force it down my throat. Or anybody else's, you know, like...
Well...
I don't know, is it that hard to...
Well, what do you mean by forcing?
You know, the thing is, why are there all these, well, extreme views here, there, and everywhere, or some of them... But then, well, like, say you would get, well, look at take Canada, for instance. I mean, we seem to be, vacillating between sort of something a little more, well, the liberals say, the liberal sort of outlook versus a conservative outlook, and each of those camps seems to adhere to certain beliefs, and well, the thing is, why can we not just have whatever beliefs or things you adhere to and not...
Oh, live and let live.
Well, I guess
right.
that's... I'm not saying this very well,
no, that's
but
okay.
I think that sums it up.
Sometimes it's difficult
Yes.
to articulate, what you're trying to say.
Yes.
And there is this...
To think it was so simple.
No, I mean, live and let live, that's actually kind of a hard concept to
Well, I have my beliefs, and I'm sure
I picture
people
these females holding you all at gunpoint saying, believe.
Oh. Yes, right. Well, there you go.
It's not that so much. It's more, to me, personally, it's like we all have to take our own stance on that. But it's this rejection that point of view, like, not, that transgenderism is...
Well, if it's your thing,
if
that's
it exists,
if you
right?
feel that strongly,
but, I mean,
then
nobody
fine.
should say to anyone that point of view is invalid.
Well, seriously,
right.
You can't. I don't think you should do that because
right,
I mean,
but that's what people are doing, though.
Exactly.
Right,
well, that's
exactly.
what's wrong. That's what I mean.
I mean, there's
sort of
like what was it?
You may not agree with it, but is
I'm
it harming
shocked.
you? They're over there. You're over here. Why is it a problem?
But then somebody has to say, "Hey, I don't like homosexuals," and they go and kill somebody.
Well, that's a bit extreme, no?
Well, I mean,
Jeez.
listen. In the UK, there are more transgender people, women, I gather, who have committed suicide in the UK prison system.
Oh.
That is ridiculous because they're forced into those populations. Then they're segregated, and then they kill themselves.
Oh, jeez.
Right. So,
Well, I don't think transgender issues. I mean, I don't take that as a joke. I know a few people in that situation, and from what I understand, if you feel that strongly that you don't want to be the gender you were born into, well, that's fine. You've got to be.
But that has to be respected.
You have to be. Yes, exactly. I agree.
Now here's another.
It's serious. It's no joke.
Here's another side of that coin, though. I think it was. I'm not sure if it was in Germany. I think in Germany there was a pride parade, and there was a militant feminists went to the front of that parade who were anti-transgenderists because they believed that So it no matter where on the spectrum you fit, somebody's going to disagree with you, and somebody's not going to is going to reject you because of whatever stance you have, and that's just an inevitability.
Well, fine, but I mean, do you have to act on it?
I'm not. Well, we don't.
I don't mean. I mean,
but we can't stop other people from doing that.
Well, the thing is, you should. I don't know. Can they not just keep their own counsel and just be happy with that?
Well,
leave it alone.
It's like saying
it's not dropped in your backyard, so why are you worried about it?
It's like the gun discussion, right? Like nobody can tell the Americans that guns. Well, if there's a lot of guns, people are going to die.
It's just the
that discussion never occurs there because it can't, because the society, the culture won't allow it. No. See, this is the thing. We can't because we reject a fundamental reality that guns cause death, and if there are more guns, the inevitability of more death occurs. That discussion never starts.
No, I guess not.
So that writ large is every human being. That's the problem. And how is it in our differences can we come together, acknowledge our differences, and respect those differences, and celebrate our similarities?
Yes, well, it's a good question. Well, I mean, if if certain segments are unwilling to discuss these things, or even just to even countenance these problems, that they maybe are a problem, then it's not going anywhere. It's not going away.
That's human. That's what it means to be human.
That's true. I'm sorry, but that's hurts, bonkers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean to cast aspersions on...
I just want to catch up on the chat here. Let's see. Was raised to love
just doesn't make
one
sense.
for their inside and not for one their insides and not be judgmental. Words can hurt many. Yes. One of my friends is a transgender, BTD, but they never forced me to think that it's right way. It's all about consideration and respect.
Well, it's right for them,
Just
and
because
that's fine.
I like she-males does not mean I'm gay, or does it? See, that's the discussion that you have to have with yourself, right?
Right. That's a personal thing.
Nah, you just have to have your own tastes, and people should respect that, Robert. Yes, absolutely. Oh, this world is becoming very strange, BTD. Basically, what I'm saying is this. Visit my new video tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Okay,
Ooh,
done.
Well done.
Consider
Clever, boy.
done.
Clever.
Will do.
If Robert says, what's that old Monty Python line? Don't repress me. Yeah, growing up and being from Louisiana, we are very cultured and open-minded. See, and for myself, yeah, shameful plug-in. Oh, not shameful, shameless. Shameless plug-in. Plug. Plug. Never mind. What's I going to say now? Brats.
I don't think that was it.
My evil plan is now thwarted.
You didn't tell me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you didn't tell me about this evil plan.
That was a joke, yeah.
No, I wanted to hear about the evil plan.
I said that was the part. That was the joke. There was
Joke.
no evil plan. It was just a space filler.
So what was the plan?
No, I was actually forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, you said something about drat. You forgot what you were going to say.
Yeah, now I remembered, and don't make me forget again. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, about being open-minded, right? Like Opal said, growing up and being from New Orleans, Louisiana, we are very cultured and open-minded. And this is it. I think this open-mindedness is there's a number of several components of that. One is number one, I think, would be being raised in a open-minded, cultured family. Maybe 2, education. 3, exposure to a wide variety of people, and 4, growing up in a foreign country, moving to another country, that sort of thing. And for me, I was born in Germany. I came to Canada, and it was a very, very different people and culture. And that sort of experience forces you to widen your perspective and your perception of what is possible to be. I mean, we look at different cultures and we don't understand. How can they? That's not normal. But we are not there, so how can we decide what is normal?
Yeah, it's true. You have to be there.
Same here, Southeast. Lots of tourists here. Lots of strange things to see. Yeah, see, and it's difficult. I mean, I consider, I can see myself if I had grown up in a small town in an isolated little community, and my attitudes, my what I would expect to be right would be different. So. Oh, that is much too heavy, isn't it? Don't move to Florida then, BTD. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, it's been really interesting. I think I don't know. I sort of got off on a tangent, and thank you all for coming along. This has been sort of enlightening. Like my mind has been sort of roiling a bit with these sorts of things, and how do you bring that sort of discussion up without it descending into recrimination and name calling and all kinds of other things. And part of that has been because I've been going when I go to streams, I sort of pop in and I pop out, and I don't like to. I don't know. It's hard for me because to sort of stick a little bit. I don't know why. It's just the way I am, but I see different communities, and there's drama happening. And one of the theories that I had is I think it's just inevitable, and then an inevitable component of how YouTube works, or communities work in general. Like they reach a certain size, there's a certain familiarity, and then people we need material. We need material, so let's pick fights, so we have something to talk about, because otherwise it's boring. I don't know if that's real.
I don't know.
I can always do funny voices.
Well, that's where the kazoos come in.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, but I mean, what it devolves into is, screw you loser!
Hey, it's Brad. Donnie came back.
Okay.
My mama is an artist. is my mom is an artist and a musician, so all beautiful beings growing up surrounded by so many kinds of souls is great. It's what makes the world not just one way. And some of us just have never had that opportunity. My my life was pretty bleak, and it's like I've suffered under the thumb of bullies and that sort of thing, and it's not happy, and I don't know why. But I mean, then again, I've always said I don't want that in my life. I want people to pass on good things, good feelings, and help each other and support each other, and I mean that in a sincere way. I mean YouTube is what it is, but I mean it more in the sense of if somebody needs like the internet hug. Let's give them an internet hug. It doesn't take any time or effort really, and we're all trying, we're all struggling, and we're all human. We get jealous, we feel, and some of us, I feel certainly that I work so hard and it never seems to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
And it is frustrating, so. Oh yeah, it's it's all good, man. Hating this weather.
Oh,
it's like supposed to be like the hottest day of the year out there.
Where's this?
England. There, it's like
is
they're still in the heat wave, crazy like.
Oh, we finally got a break today. Well, it's a bit cooler and it rained.
It rained today. Finally, we actually turned off the air conditioning for.
Do you remember when we last had rain?
I don't remember when we had last rain.
It was a month ago? It's a long time ago.
Well, do I want to know the issue? Go ahead.
Okay.
My grass is brown.
Oh, yeah. I bet it is.
I bet your face is cooler since you shaved, eh, Donnie?
Maybe.
110 degrees in Louisiana. Wow.
Oh,
wow.
That's hot.
That's 45, I think, Celsius, something like that.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Something around there.
Send you all good hugs, good vibes, and a fresh, sweet day. Yes, thank you, Opal. Thank you.
Wow.
Plus, it's humid. Yeah, we have no AC. Yeah, this is the thing. There's no in the UK. The AC is sort of not there. They don't really have it much.
I learned on Deutsche Welle that I guess Germans don't have a lot of AC either.
They don't have AC either.
I don't understand that.
Europe is sweltering.
Well, why?
Meanwhile, here in Canada, it's 1 degree above whatever. Turn on the AC. We need more AC. It's like freezing. We don't care. Hot. Turn it on. Turn it on.
That's right.
Excuse me. Yes. We have no AC in our houses. We're dying here. Yeah, it's cold on my face, but it's boiling under my boiler sink.
Oh, jeez.
My grass is brown too.
Jeez.
I'm getting AC when I buy a house. Yeah, geez. That's the thing. 2 weeks ago, Shelley, I put in a new air conditioner because our old one. I've given up the ghost. It was like full crank and nothing. It's like you feel the air, but it's not doing nothing. So
you're sweating like crazy.
14,000 BTU killer, except it wouldn't fit in the window, so I'm cutting the window. All day, 40-degree heat, cutting the goddamn window.
That's right.
So you stick this bloody air conditioner in there.
It's coming out. That's all there is to it.
10 hours later, it was like, we need a hacksaw.
Well, that's after exhausting every.
Oh my god! It's like we're doing a bank job, It's like.
Well, we were making cracks about bank jobs.
And I was so drenched. I changed my clothes 3 times, and it's like,
Well, you could wring the shirts out. To be literally, you
for
could wring
the
them out.
next week, I'm lucky I didn't have a cardiac,
Oh. I told you to take it easy, but no.
Air conditioning!
Well, it's that damned the thing we had to take the hacksaw to. Jeez, that was not fun.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that last AC, man. I swear by it. Swear by it.
Oh, get a good one.
Yeah, we're on our last 40 seconds. This hour has passed.
Wow.
This has been tremendous. I've been, this was a really interesting discussion. I thought this was good, and thank you so much for coming.
Yes, thank you.
This is going to be a fast week. Let's see. Any last things?
Oh yeah, did you want to mention your trekking sticks?
Nah, we'll save that for another time. We'll take some video because it's
right.
hilarious.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Klaus Video Archive.
Oh, Klaus Video Archive.
Yay! Nice to see you, buddy. Oh, wait, we
well.
got time for a little confetti, do we? No. Sub buttons.
Come on.
There we go.
Okay, something. Wait, I gotta have something falling from the
And
skies.
that's it. 1 hour. We made it. We made it, folks. Yeah!
You think we would just won the World Cup
I
or
know.
something?
All right. We'll see you next week. Anything?
Oh, no. Ow.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
Oh, crap.
Oh, jeez.
Turn on the air conditioning!